Are we good?
Okay.
Okay. First of all, to check your air pressure in your tires, your driver's front door, you have a sticker that tells you the size of the tire and the air pressure of the tire. So these are an LT 235 85 16. LT is a light truck. 65 in the front, 80 in the rear. Your vehicle will have the tire size and the pressure. Now, no matter what tire you put in, a lot of people change the rims and go to 18-inch tires or 20-inch tires. You always run the air pressure that the vehicle calls for. It's for the suspension of the vehicle, not the tire. So you always want to run what's in that door, no matter what tire you put on the vehicle.
Okay.
That's first. Now we're going to go to the next is our reading your tire. So your tires should be replaced. The rule of thumb now is because of the compound of the tires, 4 to 5 years either by dry rot or mileage. So if you drive your vehicle only 10,000 miles a year, you don't want to buy a 60,000 mile tire because you're going to be replacing them due to dry rot way before you ever run the mileage out. So the way you want to check your date, you find your DOT number. And then at the end of your DOT number, you'll find the 4 series number. So this tire is actually made the 42nd week of 2013. So that puts it about 3 years old. So that tire still has a couple of years on it. If you park it in a garage, you can get a little bit more time out. But if it's outside, the vehicle sits outside all the time, you're in that 4 to 5 year range. You definitely want to get it done because then they start to show the wear and tear, the dry rot. And when you see the tire treads laying in the middle of the road, that's because it's dry rotted and it's come apart. That's the #1 killer of tires because you see them when they're bald. You don't see the dry rot when the tires come apart. So the #1 killer is the age of the tire before it is the baldness of the tire. Okay, so now we got three types of tires. We have what they call an all-weather, which is the tread looks like this. This is just an all-weather. Most of your passenger cars have this. This is an all-weather tire. Okay. Then we
so
come
that
over.
That means we can drive that in the snow, Ronnie.
You can use this in the snow until a snow emergency effect.
Okay.
If it's no emergency effect, they have to be a snow tire, change, or it has to be an all-terrain tire.
Okay.
Okay, and this is just a all-winter tire. As you see on your sights, this is probably one of the best. The Firestone is probably one of the best all-winter tires. These sights here will grip the ice. These tires here are just amazing in the slush, in the snow, in the ice. They do help you out a little bit. I mean, those sights really work, and this tire is probably the best snow tire made.
Okay.
Sold a lot of these. They're usually a directional, but
What does that mean, Ronnie?
that means they just go one way. So when you put them on, these tires just go one way. You don't want to reverse them. The way the tread's made.
So you can't move them from side to side?
No,
or...
front to back only if you rotate them.
Okay.
You want to get these off in the spring as soon as possible. The compound on these are real soft to grip to help with the slush and the ice and the snow. If you run them on hot weather in the hot road, it'll tear the tires up in probably about 10,000 miles. You won't have them long.
Okay.
It eats them up real bad. The heat in the road just tears this soft compound up.
So if you take them off for one season, you can reuse them again another
Absolutely.
season?
You probably get with that kind, you'll probably get about 4 to 5, 6 years out of them.
Okay.
And then you'll have to replace them due to tire wear.
Right.
They don't dry rot as much in the winter. It's not like the summer with the summer with the sun, and as much as it's out in the heat is what causes it to hot and cold.
Okay.
So they'll last you a lot longer. You'll replace these because of tire wear before you will dry rot.
Okay.
And then follow me down here. And the next tire we're going to look at is an all-terrain. Now this is your all-terrain tire. Most of your trucks have these. Your SUVs, your CUVs, a lot of them put them on there. They're the next step between your winter tire and your all-season. Like I said, most of your trucks have the treads a little wider, as you can tell. On your corners here, you don't want them with the angle they tend to cup and make a bunch of noise.
Okay.
So you want to keep your sights here. You want to keep all this straight as much as possible. As they angle, they get cupped.
Okay.
So if you run your hand across your tire and it feels like mountains, you got an issue with the tires cupping. They cup a lot easier.
Okay, so cupping means if you run your hand over the tire and you can feel bumps, that is cupping.
Feels like a mountain range.
And so what exactly causes that again, Ronnie? You said
Well, there's a few things that can cause cupping. Okay, one is the design of the tire.
Okay.
That'll cause cupping. Two, your ball joints. That'll cause cupping.
Okay.
The number one reason for the cupping is shocks and struts. You would think the weight of the car actually holds a tire on the ground. Well, that's false. The shocks and the strut plant the tire in the ground. So what happens when they go, they get weak. So as they get weak, the tire bounces. And as it bounces, when you go down the road, it creates a pattern in the tire, which is considered cupping.
Okay.
And then you get a noise. You get a loud noise that sounds like the windows down in the car. You get a roaring noise coming from the rear, and it usually starts in the rear. And you'll get that roaring noise, and then you'll know. You just go down and run your hand over the tire, and you can feel it.
Okay.
And that's usually the shocks and the struts.
So then at that time you would need to replace those also.
But, yeah, correct.
Otherwise,
Before
you're
you put
wasting
new
money.
tires, because the thing is with tires, and once the shocks and strut are gone, it can start that pattern in a few hundred miles. And once you start that pattern, you're not going to reverse it.
Okay.
Once it starts, it's already created that. It's already busted the belts loose in the tire and started the cupping.
Right. So it's not cost effective to put new tires on without addressing the problem.
Correct.
Okay.
And most shocks and struts, their life is 50,000 from the original.
Okay.
The aftermarket, ours, we warranty for the part for lifetime and the labor for 3 years on our shocks and struts.
Okay, great. Okay.
Now we got
How
the
do
tire
we know if we need an
wear.
alignment?
I'm going to show you that right now. So your alignment is just it does everything it says it does. Your alignment, a lot of people get confused. They think alignment will cause a shake. Alignment won't cause a shake. What alignment does is just make the vehicle, puts everything in a line, just like it says. All tires are straight line, and it keeps it from wear. So if you look at the front of this, on both left sides, I'll show you the rear, it's worse, but the left front has a little wear. In the rear, you're down to your secondary rubber. And your secondary rubber is when it starts to peel back and it's bald. So that's an alignment issue right there. You got tread out here. You probably got 4 to 5 30-seconds out here, and you're down to your secondary rubber here. So this vehicle needs an alignment or a check, or maybe this problem started pre-existed and then they did an alignment, and then we just haven't checked it yet. So that's where I would start. If you're seeing tire wear, that you're seeing the outside of your tires bald or the inside, that's an alignment issue. Now if you're getting the middle of the tire is starting to go bald before the outsides, that's an air pressure, too much air. If the outsides are bald before the middle, that could be not enough air. So the ones that don't have the TPMS sensors, the light that comes on in the dash, you definitely want to check them. And we do that free with any oil change. We get free tire checks. You can come in anytime and we can check your tires.
Okay.
So that's about it on tires.
All right. Great job, Ronnie. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.